Welcome to the third installment of our podcast together with Aless. My name is Franklin Boatin, aka the King of Trainers. I have a very, very special guest all the way from Melbourne, Australia, Hosflair. How are you doing, sir?
How are you, my brother? Good?
Good. Yeah, so can you tell the people about yourself?
My name's on Instagram. My name's Hosflair. I am from Melbourne, the western suburbs of Melbourne, Australia. I'd say I'm pretty much semi-retired rapper, MC from Melbourne. And I love trainers. I love sneakers. I love tennis clothes as well. I love the football. As a football casual for a lot of years. Here, there is a scene. And yeah. I love Aless as well. You know, I've actually had King of Trainers on my show. I do a live Instagram show.
Yes.
I've just started having international guests, and Franklin obviously was one of them the other week.
I appreciate it.
And it's called Issues. ISSHOES, like is and shoes basically together. It's like a play on words. Yeah. And I do that, and I do that just live on Instagram. And then a friend of mine in Japan, he puts it all together and then sends it back to me, and then I put it up on YouTube. You know what I mean?
No, that's dope. I want to also thank you so much for getting me on your show. That was a really really interesting conversation. You know.
Yeah, so, it was, wasn't it? It was good. Yeah. I was rapt that you wanted to come on, and then can I say a big thanks to you and Aless for having me on your show.
Nah, it's all good.
Well, if you told me this was going to happen 10 years ago or when I was young, I would have laughed, and said, I'm really, it's a big thing for me. I'm honored to be, on podcast and on your podcast, you know.
No, don't worry. There's more to come. I mean, one of the reasons why I asked you is because with Aless now, we're really trying to do some great things and bring everyone together. I mean, during this time, especially, you know, in London, it's lockdown, and we're trying to kind of make sure that we reach out to people. And this episode, I was like, no, I've got one guy. He's a Aless fanatic, and he's a legend, you know. And they were like, yeah, okay, cool, let's get it on. So, I mean, this episode's really about fans of the brand, you know, how you became a fan of the brand, and just kind of talk about your experience. You know, where you are and the culture there.
Okay, well, now it's obviously when they started selling it here a couple years ago. Now they started selling it, and it got popularized here. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of younger people I know, that they thought it was a new brand. No one knew, you know. So when I told you on my show, someone said to me, he goes, "Oh man," he goes, "this new brand's come out, you know," and he goes, you'll love it. And then the next time he seen me, I was wearing it. He goes, "Oh, you wearing boy?" I go, "Dude, I've been wearing this for years."
Yeah,
you know.
That's facts. Yeah.
In my a lot of the obviously I'm ethnic background, and a lot of the ethnic kids and stuff, and they love football and tennis, soccer, you know. And so everyone pretty much wore clothing associated to those sports. You know what I mean? And obviously the breakdancing and stuff like that, you know, with the other brands and stuff. But
yeah.
So when I was really younger, I didn't personally own any Aless. One of my mates I've looked up to since I was a teenager. He's an old school rider from the west side of Melbourne. He rides Duke. He used to wear it back in the days, you know.
Okay.
But I fell in love with the brand from tennis. Watching tennis with my parents when I was younger, you know, but I could never get it, you know what I mean? The tennis shirts I got, how I explained on my show, my cousin's wife, she used to get them secondhand.
Okay.
From somewhere. I don't know where she used to work. Yeah, she used to get them secondhand, and then I wasn't even allowed to wear them at school. Even though they were secondhand, I could just wear them if we were going visiting, or if I was playing. I used to, even in my parents' house in the driveway, we had a veranda, but it was concrete, and there was a massive brick wall, and I used to pretend that the concrete veranda was the tennis net.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I used to play in the driveway for hours. You know what I mean? But obviously Boris Becker was the first, you know, like yourself, like you've seen that, like that. It's like, wow, I fell in love with the brand from tennis, I reckon. And then as I got older, and this actually, my friend Leon gave me this years ago. He gave me this, you know, and I thought I lost it, and then it was lost somewhere for years, and then obviously I'm a big part of the football culture here, the casual culture, and I even wrote a song. It's called Casual Fridays.
Yes,
and I was the first in my country.
Everyone check that out. Check that out.
You know. So what's that?
No, I said everyone should check that out. I'll make sure.
Yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube. Casual Fridays, Hosflair the Horrible, and then like my partner, how I told you, my partner and I, like, I got interviewed by Vice magazine about the football culture here, the casual culture, and even the interviewer said, he goes, I've heard, he goes, you were the first guy to rock LS.
Oh wow.
You know, and I was like, yeah. I was like, who told you that? You know, and he said one of your mates did. You know, and I was like, even at the football, people obviously knew about it and that, but I was the one
that really,
like, you can ask anyone. Yeah, like I was the one, especially in the rap scene, in the hip hop scene. I was the first one to like boom it before it was sold here.
Okay, wow.
Like, you know, and a big part of that is my lovely fiance Deborah. And I've also got a daughter. I'll shout her out as well, Annie Rose. But Deborah she started getting me my first pieces. We were the first to like wear it here easily. Like no one can dispute that, you know. And she loves the brand as well. And I'll show you one of hers, one of her items that I showed you on the show that you spun out on, for women.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah.
And then you get the matching shorts.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah.
I'm spewing they didn't never make nothing like this for guys. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Yeah. Hopefully we can speak to them, and hopefully they can retro it for us.
Yeah, something like that. And then there's matching tracksuit pants as well for that outfit. You know.
That's dope.
But I really fell in love with the brand, obviously from tennis. And obviously being a b-boy as well when I was younger, you know, but that brand, like, you couldn't really get, you know, unless you knew someone from overseas and relatives went there and they would have bought it back, you know, like, but yeah, basically that's how I fell in love with LS. Like, it was but basically just seeing tennis players wear it, and then just seeing, like, you know, you watch film clips and stuff, and you know, especially from like the late 80s and early 90s, you'll see certain clips. And there's always dudes in the background wearing it, like, you know, wearing the fly track stuff. And then obviously you see docos on the football culture and stuff. And that's who I think.
Really?
Yeah, in England, I think that's who. It's the people of the football culture. I think they're the ones, all tennis gear.
Yeah.
I think they're the ones that popularized it to be.
Yeah.
Like a fashion, if you would agree, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I totally understand. I think that's the thing about like, I think I said this on your show, is the football culture, like tennis, needs to be respected because it's given a lot to different cultures everywhere. Do you get what I mean? In America, they say tennis shoes.
100%.
You know, and all the kind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, all the kind of shoes that the terrace culture guys would be wearing were the tennis, you know, the Stan Smiths and the, you know, the different shoes there. So yeah, no, we have to kind of give homage to tennis. So speaking about where you got them from, I know you mentioned there was only like 2 stores in the whole, it's in Melbourne that had them, it was a suit store or something like that. Is correct?
That wasn't LS. That was Kappa.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Unless when they started selling it here, my partner, we got it offline.
Okay.
You know, and a good one of the good places to get it was the 80s Casuals website. You know, the 80s Casuals website.
Oh yes. Okay. Oh wow.
They sell massive amounts of LS.
Oh, so you used to get it over. You used to get it shipped over.
Yes, and there's a company that ships. They sell like so much stuff. It's called. Have you ever heard of Hosflair before?
No,
You probably wouldn't have. They
yeah.
sell. It's like it's an app online.
Mm-hmm.
And one day we were sitting there, and then Deborah called me in. She goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, "They're selling the less."
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh,
that's
wow.
when we started getting it, and no one else had it because no one else was looking on there like for it, you know.
Yeah,
And like
okay. So
the
it's like
thing
your
with
secret
that,
thing to
yeah,
get.
the thing with it was crazy. And then you just sort of started getting all these mad jackets and stuff, and it's just like
Mm.
no one had it, you know what I mean? And like everyone was like, "Wow, where'd you get that from?" It's like when Deb, how I told you on my show, Deb wore this outfit
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
uh,
To
to a party, and
yeah,
like people were coming up to me saying, "Sorry, man, but your missus
yeah,
outdone you today." You know what I mean? Like, and that was funny as, you know.
yeah. No, I mean, and I think it's good to also mention. I think I think I said this before. Like the kids today, it's all about they kind of want what everyone else has. But back in those days when we were growing up,
It's,
it was really about where can I get it? And then when you found the place that you can get it, you don't tell nobody. You don't say
nah,
nothing. Yeah, yeah,
that's with everything. Yeah, that's right.
mm,
Yeah, no, you don't tell no one.
yeah,
It's because then you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, and then they started selling. When JD Sports came to Australia,
Mm-hmm.
actually, a friend of mine, you know that the Creps 2 tune that I sent you about the
Yes.
kicks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he's originally from England, you know.
See it. Yeah.
But he's born in Wales. He's Welsh, but he's grown up his whole life in England. But he's been living here. He's Australian citizen, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he actually got given a tracksuit,
Okay.
an elite tracksuit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know how it happened,
Like
and
a
I don't
PR
know.
company or
I don't
something.
know why it never went through. I don't know if it was supposed to promote it or something like that. But then when it landed, so they sold it in 2 stores: JD Sports and a shop called Glue,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which just
Mm-hmm.
sells trainers, not too much training, but more fashion and clothes and stuff like that. And then that's
Okay.
where. And then one of my close friends, his partner was I think assistant manager or
Mm-hmm.
something. And then that's when they got me. When it was my birthday, they chipped in and they got me this.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The pullover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love this one.
yeah.
This one's about then. Yeah, like I love that jacket, man.
No, that's dope. That's dope. No, thanks for showing. So, I mean, I guess, really, like back then, you were really like the main trendsetter for less, right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like
Mm-hmm.
trying to toot my own horn or nothing like that. But like me and my partner were pretty much the only ones wearing it. But
Nice.
especially in the rap scene, like there's no doubt.
Mm.
Even in the football, like people, and then people started getting there. Like obviously they knew what it was, but they were rocking other brands,
Yeah.
you know. And then I had this one jacket. I gave it to my friend Fraxer. It's actually in the Casual Fridays film clip. He's
Okay.
standing there with this white. It's like a baseball sort of bomber
Mm-hmm.
track top, and it's got buttons, you know.
Okay.
That was a big, when I wore that to the football
Yeah.
with like
Oh.
matching 80s shorts. That was all over. It was game over. Like, you know, like people were freaking out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never knew that they made trainers.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Nah,
They were
not
making.
for ages. And big shout out to Carly Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I've known him on Instagram for like a real long time now. And even he told me, he was like, when you told me you were from Australia, I was like, really? Like they're rocking LA there, like, you know. I'm like, yeah, man, like, you know. But until he started telling me, because I was asking him, and then he's got the knowledge,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And like I was seeing his shoes
Mm.
and the tanker, you know, and I was like, wow, what's that? Like I couldn't believe it. And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, you don't know what this is? I'm like, nah,
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, I didn't know they made all these shoes because
Yeah.
I just seen the clothes, like, you know what I mean.
I see. Yeah, no, I mean in London, in the 80s and the 90s, like their shoes were literally, I think I said this before, they were like the kind of cool school shoes to have. You know, they had a real.
Yes.
I'm gonna go into their archives, but they had a black pair and had like a green sole, like a green, and then a green sole and I think a red sole. And it was brilliant pair. I'm actually gonna go to the archives see if they can get us to retro that, because that was the.
Yeah, that's yeah. Please tell them. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Nah. I've been trying to. Thanks for posting my tanker
Yeah.
design.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to?
For some reason, it won't work on my phone. I'm the worst with technology, so that's how I did it. I screenshotted it,
Yeah.
and then I tried to tag them in it. But that's how. If I had a tanker, it would be mostly pink soft leather with like where the toe box is, like the outer bits around like yellow, like canary yellow leather. You know what I mean? Like and then on the sides I'll have like red, and then red laces with it, with the yellow tongue, like, and I'll just I reckon they'll look crazy. You know what I mean?
No, that would look dope.
I love that tank, and your tanker, man, like.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Like,
I appreciate it.
Same with Carly's as well. Like him and his man that they designed that tank. All of them, all the tankers I've seen, like that people did on that council is just amazing. And shout outs to LS for having that competition that's running now for people to design their own shoe. Like who doesn't want to, like who what person that loves trainers doesn't want to have
their own shoe,
like some trainers that they find, you know what I mean? Like I reckon that's a good thing for a brand to do, you know what I mean? Especially now that a lot of young people are like seeing this brand and getting into it, and I reckon it's good because LS is one of those brands that I don't think has ever died out, but you have to know about it to know it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like people, especially people in the football culture and stuff, like they've been wearing it. That's never died out. You know, like, and now that it's gaining popular with this new younger culture, I think even having this competition, I think, and shouts to LS, like, and for doing that, I think that's just like
for sure.
It's a great way. You know what I mean? Like I like what they're doing now. Like you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, no, they're a great bunch of guys. I'm not just saying that, but they really now, you know, I mean, they understand that the community, you know, especially even doing this podcast and allowing me to kind of have free reign with the guests and the type of things that we talk about. I mean, it's unheard of. Do you know what I mean? It's like no brand does that. So after.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's just like. Yeah, it's a killer brand, man. It's just got it's got styles for days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my favorite garments are more the 80s garments, like the tennis shorts and stuff like that. Like that's what but I'm 40. I'm going to be 41 in May. So that's why, you know. And I love the new like tracksuits that they got now with the the cuff pants and you know what I mean, like the full sweaters and stuff like that. But like I really love these like this is more
yes
our era, you know what I mean. This is my partner's gum as well, you know. I brought this one as well, this one that you didn't see. I'm shattered. I broke the zip off
at the
top, but this is one of my favorites.
Oh wow, oh that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Like I love stuff like this, you know what I mean. Like it's just plain.
Yeah, that's proper.
It's got there. I've got a cardigan somewhere. I gave that to my partner, but I don't know where it is. So she's got it hung up somewhere. But that's just like
nice.
Like a dark red with a blue trimming and blue sleeves, you know. And it's just got the LS inside on the tag. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant. I mean, that's one thing, you know, that a lot of people don't know, because obviously LS started like in the 60s and they've got such a their archive is insane. I don't know if you've seen the ski jacket. They do the ski jackets and like the
they're
wow. I mean,
amazing. You know, like if they started bringing that like all that stuff back. And
I'm gonna speak to them because I think people need to. And I know it's not easy as a brand to kind of keep on retroing stuff and stuff like that, but people have to understand, like, even when we do talk about the LS tanker, and Callie even says things like, you know, the shoe was inspired so many other brands to make their shoes that way, you know. It really, you know, it really goes to show you how influential LS as a brand has been and still is. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. You know. Yeah.
It's a tough brand. Like it's tough as like you just you just feel mad. I got some. This is an old one. This is old. One of my good friends got me this, and this is from back in the day. Like you can tell. Like another thing, it's just a little bit faded. The color on the top. This is a nice tennis jumper.
Oh, okay. Oh, the V-neck. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, like, and I don't know where we got this from. Like if you see the embroidery,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
mint still on it. You know, like it's just still in this mint condition. And he found it somewhere, and he thought of me straight away, and so he got it for me. You know,
That's brilliant.
Yeah, just gave it to me, man. I was wrapped. It's a little bit like some of the yellow. I can't because of how old it is.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of yellow on the top, but no one's gonna say, no one's gonna send me home.
Yeah, exactly.
For that, or you know.
Yeah. So in Australia, now that Alessi is being sold out there, how is the scene? Has the scene appreciated? I mean, you did say that the young kids thought it was a new brand, so have they really like adopted it?
A lot of heaps of people wear it. Heaps of people in the football, obviously the football, but even in the hip hop scene and the grime scene as well, because grime culture. Because my Smash Brothers is a group here, and rest in peace, Murky. It's Fracture, Scotty Hines. They're both Englishmen, and my man Dime. You know, and but they get into it less, and you know, people see what they wear as well, the young kids and stuff like that. A lot of rappers. This young bloke, he's not that young, but he's younger than me. I'm gonna do a song with him soon, actually. His name's Mitchos the Menace. He's from West Sydney, and he got given by JD Sports a lot of LS to wear, like to promote at one stage as well, you know. And he's got a big fan base, and so you know the young kids will see it, and a lot of young kids are wearing it.
No,
you know what I mean? But they're not like I said, and when I mentioned the 80s casuals website, a lot of them don't know about that.
No, they don't know.
So they're getting the certain the less that gets sold in them stores. But then, if you know what I mean, if you want to be on your own as well, if no one knows about that, then you'll get heaps of less. To make you stand out, because then you'd be walking and then be like, wow, where did you get that from? You know what I mean? And then they'll go online, which is good in a way, because it makes them go for a hunt for it. You know what I mean? And then I think that's what makes the brand get bigger. You know what I mean? Because like I said earlier, a lot of those younger people, and shout out to the younger people, but they've never heard of this brand before.
No.
You know, and I even got told like, oh, did that just come out or whatever? I seen that at Blue or whatever, and it's just like, nah, this has been around since. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't even born, like 20 years before I was born, like, you know, and I'm older, you know, and like, but it's gotten like it's quite popular. You know what I mean? It's like it's up there. A lot of people wear it, you know, which is good. Because it deserves. LS is a brand that deserves, like, you know, and especially like with this now that they've given you, and Cully and all the design council, that thing, and you know, you're getting your shoes made, and that's just it's grouse, you know, and like you said, even like stuff like this, and doing that competition, even like brands don't do that.
But
you know what I mean? Like
saying that, not to say any names, but a certain big brand did copy. they have copied the concept and tried to put it. I ain't gonna say no names. I'll tell you off.
That's all right. Yeah. Well, I've tried not to say other brand names either. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't, you know. I know what you mean. A lot of them do copy. Of course, they'll copy because they think, you know, here's this brand, unless it's not as like popular what we are. So if we do it and then say, oh no, we thought of it, they think probably it's easier to get away with or whatever. But with people like us saying that, it's not, you know. But the real heads know, you know what I mean. Not to do cliche words and stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's like the real heads know. You know what I mean? Like,
and speaking of other brands. How is the culture? I mean, I know Sneaker Freaker just celebrated their 18th birthday. Sneaker Freaker magazine has just celebrated their 18th birthday, and I know that when I speak to people from Australia, they say there's not many stores. I mean, has it changed in the time you've been around in terms of the amount of stores?
What, as far as trainers or
trainers? Yeah, like sells sneakers and stuff.
It's basically, I'll tell you what, man, back in the days, there's a place called Footscray near where I grew up, in the western suburb, rough area and stuff, but they had the best in the western suburbs, I'd say, and like people my age and older will agree, there was a sports boutique called Paris John's, sports,
Mm-hmm.
and you could get like the maddest shoes there.
Uh-huh.
It's unbelievable. Like, put it this way: if your dad took you to Paris John's,
Yeah,
you were, you know what I mean. The first time I had been there,
mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
only to look window shopping before.
Yeah.
When my dad first took me to go there to actually
Right.
buy a pair of trainers, like, I was sweating, man. I didn't know
Serious.
what to choose or what was going to be. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I ended up choosing a pair of sneakers that were like, they came out like 3 years before or 2 years before.
Oh,
and they were on special, you know?
Yeah,
so then that made it even mad. My dad was racked. He was like, oh, sweet. Like, you know what I mean? They were on special. Yeah. I remember they were, they were basketball boots, Aeroglides. If I could say, I won't say the
you
name
can say,
of the
no,
boot.
you can say it's fine. It's fine, don't worry.
Yeah, it's Converse Aeroglides.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's his name? I think Larry Johnson was his
Yeah.
name. Grandmama, you know, the gold tooth on the
Yeah,
commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the first ones. But before that, like, it was like how I was saying, man. I used to have trainers that were considered old in the 80s. You know what I mean? Growing up and stuff like that. But everyone, there was a lot of kids wore. There was a brand. It was a cheaper brand. Like, there was 2 cheaper brands. I remember the first one was Trax. And it was written TRA and triple X, like, you know, like faded out. It was so hectic. And they came in Velcro or laced up shoes. They were like, I think $10 or something, you know.
Yeah.
And then this other brand called Aero Sports came out, you know what I mean? And people would diss you or whatever. But now, like, when you think about it, like, when we talk, even with my partner Deborah, where you talk about shoes like that, people are like, man, they were the best, you know what I mean? Like saying, like, I freaked out the Buffalo Sport tracksuits.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I thought that was just here they sold them. You know what I mean? I didn't know that was around. Yeah. But shoe shops are like, you know, you got your Foot Lockers and stuff, and they try and, you know, but they mostly will sell a lot of the hype shoes, I guess. You know, not like PEs or anything like that, you know what I mean? But like, you know, how they call the hype beast or whatever, you know what I mean? But sometimes they get like, you can get like some fly Reeboks and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? Like old school stuff, Adidas, like everything, man. Like, but but back when I was young, man, you got what you got, you know?
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. I think that's what it is. I think, you know, times have just changed. You know, times have changed. That's why I feel that it's important to get people on these types of podcasts like yourself, to let people know internationally how it was. Because, I mean, it's a similar story. In London, you did get what you got. I mean, I was just lucky that my mum loved tennis, so I got kind of the special things. But sometimes, I mean, you know, sometimes I will have a Velcro Mercury. I don't know if you had that brand, Mercury or something like that. You know, we'll have.
I don't know. I'll have to send me a photo because it sounds familiar, but I'm probably thinking of something else. Like they got Mercury's, but no, I'm thinking of the cider. They sell the cider here, Mercury cider or something. Not shoes. So yeah, send me a photo of them. I'll see if
I can find a picture of me wearing the Mercury's. Yeah, but no, I mean, like, I feel that sometimes, you know, it's good to have these conversations so that people can understand the history of certain brands and how, because when we live before the internet, when we live in, like, obviously you live in Australia, I live in London, Callie lives in Atlanta. Before forums and stuff like that, it was the streets. So our audience was the streets. And I think that,
that's right.
It's universal. Like, you know, a lot of kids now, and I'm not saying it's kids, it's their generation. So I'm not even saying it's a bad thing, but a lot of the young people now, their audience is the internet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you hear, when I hear your stories, it's so similar because, like, number one, we used to go for things that no one had. Number two, like, if you wore a certain outfit, you were the man. Like, it didn't matter. They just thought you were bad. They just thought it was just like a kind of street thing where you could wear the expensive trainer with the right tracksuit and you're just, oh my God, he's the man type of thing. So,
Here, like, how I was saying, a lot of, like, especially with the graffiti culture, especially in the 90s and stuff, like, it was mostly Air Max.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Air Max was big, especially in that cult. Like, oh, if you loved hip hop or something like that, like you know, people wear shell tops and stuff like that from Break or whatever. But if you're a rider, a lot of riders, like 90% of riders, like you could see, there would be a Caribou puffer vest, a hoodie or something, you know, male or female, and they'll have 90s. Like Deborah wore 90s in the 90s. Fracture's got a line. I used to wear 90s in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, like so here now, like with a lot of the younger generation now, it's turned from that to TNs. TNs are massive now. You know what I mean? Like here, especially, you know, but especially for the younger culture. Like older people wear them and stuff, you know. But you get older, like people my age will more gravitate. Like Deborah's favorite Air Max is the 87s.
Okay, yeah.
The first ones, yeah, the first Air Max. You know what I mean? And 90s. Like that's pretty much her arsenal is 90s and the 87s. You know, and I'm quite partial to 95s. But it was all that, like a lot. But growing up, you know, like I said, a lot of the ethnic community where I grew up, it's like, you know, you'd wear like the Umbros, the Lottos, shoes, you know, Adidas, all just like, you know what I mean? Like it's just heaps of stuff. You know?
Cool. Well, you know, I wanna say a massive thank you for this conversation, man. It has been a real honor to have you on. And a real joy to hear your story with Aless.
Man, thank you. Thank you to you and Aless.
No, that T-shirt you're wearing, what year is that? That one that you're wearing, the red one? Because Callie showed me the trainers that went. I don't know if you saw. He showed me the trainers that went with that T-shirt, and it's got the big Aless on the side.
Yeah. You know what? I'll ask my mate when he got it.
Okay, cool. I think it's...
But I'm talking, this is like, I reckon it's 20 years old. Over 20 years old.
Yeah, no, because...
At least.
Yeah, because the trainers are like, I think they're like 93, 94.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just,
He would have got it later.
Later.
All right. So if it's 93, the trainers, then... After 97, I think, maybe he got this.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's dope. That's dope, man. But no, Hosflair, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say before we leave?
I just want to thank you, Franklin, and Aless as well. Thank you both. You know, this is an honor for me to be on your guys' podcast. And I've got another episode happening this weekend of Issues. So if anyone wants to follow, my Instagram is Hosflair, all lowercase, HOSFLAIR, all one word. And and you'll see the ads on there on my Instagram and stuff like that. And that's it, basically, man. Thank you very much, guys.
It's all good, man. It's all good. So yeah, this has been Franklin together with Hosflair from Melbourne, Australia. Big yourself up, bro. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you, guys. Awesome, man.
Very good.